and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to AFTV. Welcome to another fantastic edition of Box to Box with myself, your host, Marty. Please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please check out all of AFTV's other content. Please check out the AFTV app with the team selector. It's fantastic. And also, please check out the new show, The Game Plan, that is up and coming to be released soon. I am here today with Luke, who is an Aston Villa fan. We have got a 12:30 kickoff away at Villa Park on Saturday. Aston Villa Football Club, founded in the 21st November 1874. Villa Park has a capacity of 42,918 seats. Luke, what a result you had last night, and are you looking forward to this game?
Yeah, mate. Title 6-pointer, isn't it? So buzzing for it, mate. Beat Arsenal with 3 points behind you, so really chomping at the bit, mate.
So listen, I'm going to dive straight into that. You know how you're doing at the moment. Do you seriously see yourself as title contenders?
I think the thing is, like, realistically, probably not. But I think you look at the media, and when you played Chelsea, it was like that was a title 6-pointer, wasn't it? And they were 6 points behind you at the time, and everyone was going on about Chelsea, etc. And Villa are in the same situation now. So I think we need a bit of respect of how well we're actually doing. We, didn't start the season very well, but now we're absolutely flying. 8 wins in 9 games, currently we're the most informed team in the league. So I think while we're doing that and playing really well and we're at the top of that sort of form table at the minute, I think you're in it until you're out of it, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? I did see that, and it's interesting. I mean, we had sort of Sunderland coming into that top 4 before, and now you boys. I mean, the thing is you started the season really slow, and now you're right up there. And like you say, listen, if you get 3 points against us, which has happened before, you're right up there and you're in with it.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've just kind of got this mentality at the minute, sort of a never say die attitude. When you're thinking that, we were 1-0 down against Leeds, we came back and won that. We were 2-0 down against Brighton, scored 4 goals. That sort of mentality and that belief is just seeping through the team. And we're doing well. We've beat Man City at home. The home form's really good. We've only lost 1 game at home all season in the Premier League. So I'm looking forward to it because I think we want to test ourselves against the best. And I think you guys are, absolutely flying in all competitions. You're looking like this just well-oiled machine that just keeps going and going and churning out results and points. And your defence has been incredible. So I think on Saturday it's going to be an intriguing game. I think as a neutral, I think everyone will want to watch that game at 12:30.
Look, and it's, you say these 12:30 kickoffs, there's something about them. It starts the weekend off quickly. The Saturday morning's short, and then we get straight into Premier League action. And no doubt it's going to be an absolutely fantastic game because we've had some awesome games between us over the seasons. And obviously, you've nicked points off of us at crucial times as well. So you spoke about, the belief that you've got. Talk to me about our old guy, Unai Emery, and talk to me about what he has done for you guys at Villa Park.
I'll tell you now, he has transformed how I watch football. I thought I understood football, but Unai Emery is a genius. And what he's been able to do at Aston Villa, take us from relegation positions under Steven Gerrard to half a season Conference League where we hadn't been in Europe for over 20 years. Next season, Champions League. Last season, competing in the Champions League, got to the quarterfinals, managed to beat PSG at home. And this season, this season, competing in Europa League still, and then still doing really good in the Premier League. So he's a great manager. I know you guys will have your thoughts on what happened there, maybe wrong timing, etc. But what he's done for Villa on the budget that we have, we're sort of had PSR over us. We've had SCR where we're struggling. In the summer, we only signed, a net spend of £31 million, which is nothing. And teams like Liverpool were spending over 200 million, and how we're competing with what we're spending is the difference maker. And even against Brighton, I'll go back to the last game that we played. We were quite poor first half, but he just drags us out of a mire all the time, and we're able to just churn out results, play good football, but he just finds a way to win. Some Villa fans will say we don't play pretty football. It's not sometimes the most eye-catching to watch, but we win. And that's what he's all about. He's here to win. He's here to try and achieve the maximum that he can. And I just think he's incredible.
Yeah, do you know what? And I think, coming to us, it was always going to be tough. Us coming in after Arsene Wenger, and his time at our club was quite tumultuous, and it was interesting. And then obviously he's come to you guys and seemed to have really, like you said, turned you around. So you spoke briefly about your signings. You didn't have many of them. Let's just talk about those quickly, and how they've settled in and how impactful. Because obviously you had a couple. At the back end, some absolute masterstrokes. You had Rashford and Asensio, which were, players at the time which currently we needed. Now, how have your new ones? Who are they? Let everyone know who they are and how they're fitted in.
Well, there's not many. We signed Evan Gesson, who is Unai's got him playing out wide on the right. He features a little bit, played against Brighton, in and out the team, adjusting to what Emery wants from him. I think he's more of a central player, but he's not been playing as a central player. We then signed Sancho on loan, who's been in and out, hasn't started a Premier League game, has been coming off the bench. He's looked pretty decent. His ball retention's been good. No out-and-out numbers. We got Lindelof on a free transfer. We got Harvey Elliott, who Emery doesn't fancy at all. He'd got to play 10 games before we trigger a 35 million clause in his contract. Nowhere to be seen. Just goes on the Europa League squad and then doesn't come on the pitch. So it looks like he's going to be going back. But apart from that, I think that was it. We got Bizot, a number 2 keeper who's been coming in for Martinez, who's been doing pretty well. But apart from that, that was it. Our summer was sort of like curtailed by SCR and UEFA's wage bill ratio cap that just didn't really allow us to push on. So the players that are playing are generally the ones that have been there for some time. We've got players still that are Dean Smith signings. We've gone through Dean Smith, Steven Gerrard. Some of them aren't even Emery signings. So what he's able to do is just improve players and just get their level to a really high standard. So, that shows, again, a little bit of Unai's coaching. But all in all, there's no sort of like star signing that we made in the summer that's like smashing it.
So I heard that one of our old boys, again, Martinez, is he doubtful to play against us?
He keeps having this little weird thing of the odd game midweek. He pulls out of a warm up, and I don't know why he does it, because then the next game he plays. So I'd probably say he'll play, because that's the pattern of what's been happening. When he pulls out of a warm up one game, he then plays the next game. So I don't know whether that every time he feels a little like tweak of something, he's just thinking, World Cup, I need to protect myself. But yeah, it's a little bit of a strange one, really. But I do think we are gonna need him. It'd be a big miss if he wasn't available.
And the Harvey Elliott situation, that's something that sort of amused me. Is he's a very good player, and in the under 19, under 21 Euros in the summer, did fantastically, and obviously can't get in your team.
Yeah, we were. Oh, I mean, I was buzzing when we signed him. I thought, the goal he scored against PSG for Liverpool last season was great. Like you say, that tournament, he was absolutely brilliant. And I think what it is I think we've got rid of Monchi, who was our sporting transfer gurus, doing all the signings, like you say, Rashford, Asensio. That relationship I think it just broke down. So I feel like it was a bit of a last-minute one. I think Emery wanted Paqueta from West Ham, didn't get him, so we had to just go with Harvey Elliott because our window wasn't great. And I think now we're looking at it thinking we could utilise that money elsewhere. Player like Buendia, who's been performing to a high level that was sort of surplus to requirements last season. So I think it's like quite strategic what they've done, to be honest.
So let's go straight into it with your team formation. This is the part of the show where I want you to lay out your team, your formation, go, throughout the entire names and explain to the viewers, what these players are like and what we can expect from them.
Yeah, so I think Emery's system will vary. We'll play multiple different sort of formations against you guys because we can't just go out there and just like, have a kick about because we're going to get rolled over. So you guys know what Emery's like, very meticulous. So we're a 4-4-2 in general or 4-2-3-1. We'll go with Martinez, Cash at right back, Consapau, Digne. Digne's more solid, prefers him to Maatsen. We'll go with a double pivot of Kamara and Onana. I think on the right, you'll see McGinn, on the left, Rodgers, Tielemans off Watkins. And this is a playbook setup of what we did against PSG. So Tielemans will drop deeper, make up a midfield three. We'll try and overload. McGinn will come quite central. We'll condense the middle of the pitch and try and stop, to the best of our ability, Zubimendi and Declan Rice. Try and break that down. How I look at you guys is, you do play in a way that we can exploit because you do leave those two central defenders at the back. They're two that sit at the back, and we're very good at
the moment.
I know, so that pleases me a little bit. But Watkins is very good at sort of like getting in behind fullbacks, getting in and running beyond centre backs. So I think that's something that we'll probably try and do. Go longer, and then at times you'll probably see us drop into a back five, back six. We'll be very intense at doing that, and I think that's pretty much what we'll try to do. And then if we're still in the game later on, we might bring on Donyell Marlon, who's bagging loads of goals this season, and he'll look to try and stretch you really. So that's what I think Villa will do.
Who else have you got on the bench?
So if we played that formation, we've got Marlon, we'd have Sancho, we'd have Maatsen. We'd have a young lad called Bogard, who's pretty decent. Then we'd have a couple of defenders. So you'd say Marlon, Sancho, Gesson would be the ones that had come off the bench to try and change it.
And how has Sancho been for you this season?
All right. He just plays like very sort of... he's a system player for Emery. Emery just doesn't like... If you look at one metric that we're very low at is we don't cross the ball. So we don't just put aimless crosses into the box. So he waits for like every opportunity for us to like make it sure it's the right one. So you've probably seen that we score loads of bangers from outside the box. Yeah. Like that's pre-planned. We're actually like trying to tee up players at the edge of the box. So Sancho's one where he just keeps the ball. He'll his distribution's good. His ball retention's good. It's quite easy, a bit like Grealish at Man City. He just always knocks it back, and it's about sort of getting further forward and control and possession. So he's been okay, but you would expect more from him, from the player that was at Dortmund and Chelsea and Man United. So, yeah, he's not really set the world alight.
So what do you think of Arsenal?
I like Arsenal. I do like Arsenal. I think your fan base hypes you up quite a lot. I think you're a very hyped up team, and the squad is built brilliant. Declan Rice, I love him. Zubimendi, Saka, Mikel Merino, what a player he is, what a goal scorer. The defence is elite. Set pieces are unbelievable. So yeah, you're a very, very good team. But you haven't won anything yet, and I think that's the big thing, isn't it? You've got this great team, but you've got to win something, and I think that's where you're at this season. So I think once you finally do win something, I think everyone will probably respect it a lot more, I think.
Yeah, we haven't come this far to just come this far. Mm-hmm. Which leads me on to my next question. What do you think of Mikel Arteta and the job that he's done?
Yeah, good. Again, good. I think everyone can see what he's built and how well you play. From a tactical point of view, you're just very fluid, very hybrid. Full-backs inverting, overlapping, very dominant, very good. But again, you got to win something, So that's what elite managers are judged on, aren't they?
Yeah.
And he has spent a lot of money. This squad has cost a lot of money to build, and I compare him to like Unai Emery. If Emery at Villa had the money that Arteta had, then what could he build? So
Yeah.
I think we obviously don't make enough revenue to be able to sort of spend what we want. So from the outside, as a fan, you look at it and think, I'd expect you to win something, and I think that's what he's got to do. But I respect, I like how. I like how intense he is. I like that in a manager. Emery's quite intense. I like how active he is on a touchline. But yeah, it's got to win something for me.
So tell us about your toughest game of the season so far.
Oh,
In
toughest
any
game. Well,
competition.
well, to be honest, we've had quite a few. When we've played teams, we've played them when they're like banging form. Like, we
Yep.
played Fulham a couple of months ago, and they were like fifth in the league, and now they're like 17th, and that was a real tough game. Beat Bournemouth when they were, I think they were about fourth.
Yep.
Tough game. City, that was a tough game. We beat them at home, played really well. But the tough ones, I'd probably say at the start of the season when we got a bit of a bad vibe and we lost to Palace, we drew away we lost to Brentford, sorry. Those were bad moments where we hadn't scored in like 4 games or something. We hadn't won in 4 and we just got off to a really bad start. But we've been able to like regroup and get back on track, really. So I'd probably say they're all tough, aren't they, really? There's no easy game, to be honest.
So who's your top goal scorer?
Oh, it's not Watkins. Well, he scored 2, didn't he, last game? So he's got 3 now. I think it's Daniel Marlon. He's been coming off the bench, playing really well for us, looking at a real threat. So, yeah, I think it's Daniel Marlon. But again, he's not sort of a player that's first name on the team sheet, might not play, might play. You just don't know what you're going to get. But I think while he's scoring goals off the bench, I think Emery really likes that sort of vibe that just keep him doing what he's doing well. I think against Brighton, he was on the pitch 35 seconds and he scored. So he's just one of them where he's kind of a bit inevitable that he just finds a way to score.
Cool. So when did you start supporting Villa and why?
I'm 36, so I'd probably say from birth. But like my family are like all Villa fans. So I used to go round to my nan's on a Saturday, and my auntie and uncle were season ticket holders, and they'd come round, and I'd be like, "Where are you going?" And they're like, "We're going to the Villa," and it just fascinates you like where they're going. And I think it's just ingrained in my family that you support Aston Villa, and I've never seen us win anything though. I was too young to see us win the League Cup, so. Yeah, this is why Emery is doing really well. But I could do with him picking up a trophy at Villa, to be honest, because this is probably the best Villa I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And to some people, they've seen us win the European Cup, they've seen us win the League Cup. So for me, I'm craving that trophy, probably like you guys, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few, but definitely. I mean, listen, in recent years, I think now under the Arteta era, we definitely need to win something. So, look, one of the most for me iconic grounds in British football is Villa Park. I find it absolutely fascinating. It's one of those old school football stadium where each stand is a different stand. I remember when FA Cup semi-finals used to be played there. I remember when Manchester United beat us there in '99, and they went on to win the treble. The atmosphere there is unbelievable, and it's such a quirky place with so many interesting places to look at. Please let the viewers know your take on Villa Park and explain the atmosphere, where you sit, all of your sort of favourite bits about Villa Park.
Well, the best bit's the Holt End. So that's the biggest stand behind the goal. That's where I sit. It's like the noisy stand. Holt End.
The Holt End, yeah.
Yeah. And
it's
it's class in there. Like,
12th man.
Like standing up, just singing. Everyone goes mad when you score a goal. And it's iconic, it's from the outside, if some people haven't ever seen it, it's like made out of brick, and it's got stained glass little tiles that make it pop out a little bit, stained glass windows. A great stand, and the rest of it is really cool. And we're having it redeveloped for the Euros in 2028. So the opposite stand to the Holt End, I think we're going up to like a 51 or 52,000 seater stadium. So we're improving that, and yeah, everyone loves it. Like the pitch always looks immaculate, and away fans just really like Villa Park because it's, I think there's a lot of nice stadiums. Like, I really like the Emirates. I think it's a nice stadium. I think from the outside it looks good, etc. But Villa Park's just a bit different, like you say. Every stand's different. It's just got a real good feeling to it, to be honest. So yeah, I absolutely love it, and I hope we never leave there, to be honest.
Yeah, there was something when we left Highbury and moved to the Emirates. I mean, I loved Highbury. It reminds me quite of that. And like you said, the whole end with that brick, with the brickwork. And then you've got that car park out the side. It's like Villa Park has 4 different sections of the ground, and it's fantastic. I went there. I was there last season. Took my daughter actually, and yeah, really, really great place to go. So, how much is a ticket for category A game, and how much is a season ticket?
My season ticket, I think, was 830.
Yeah.
I'm category 3, I think,
Okay.
because I'm not dead set. I'm to the left a little bit, and I think category A games are around. So I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I reckon around 75. I think. We got a lot of stick last season for our Champions League prices. They were around about 70 something quid. And if you weren't a season ticket holder and you wanted general or a membership, I think they were around 90 something. So yeah, it was a bit expensive, but yeah, it's just the price of football, isn't it? I think your ticket's probably a lot more expensive than ours for a season ticket, but yeah, it's just the price of football.
It is indeed. So, moving on to the game on Saturday, let's have a prediction from you, Luke.
Do you know what? I'm going to show some belief in Villa. I think this is a game that we will get up for. We've beat the best at Villa Park. We've got a great record. I think we're going to win it 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1. I respect you guys, and I know you're brilliant. And if we lost, then I'm sure we've lost to the better team. But while we're on this run, Emery against Arteta, we've got results against you with Emery in the past. I think we could possibly do something.
Fair play, fair play. I'm going for 2-1 Arsenal. I'll tell you what, I think we're going to get a couple of earlyish goals in the first half. I think you guys have got that in you. And then I think in the second half, we'll, try and shut it out. And I think you'll get a goal. You'll press us. You'll get a goal, and it'll be a bit of a nervy end. But I think we'll get the job done. And I think that's how the game will go. But listen, a tough place to go. Like you say, you're flying high. I can't wait for the game. I really can't. Just a quick, before we go, Luke, an opportunity to plug your socials. Please follow Luke on, what's your platform?
So it's a UTV fan channel on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, etc. So we do like fan cams after the games and match previews, tactical episodes. We do quite a lot, like debriefs and stuff. So yeah, go and check it out.
Fantastic. You heard it there. So, guys, thank you for watching another episode of Box to Box. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know in the comments your score predictions, what you thought of the episode. Please check out all of AFTV's other content. Luke, you've been an absolute superstar. Thank you very much for coming on and sharing your insight around Aston Villa. I hope it's been fun, educational and informative. The big one, Saturday, 12:30 at Villa Park. Stay tuned. We've got a watch along in the studio as well. So that will be going off. Thank you very much. I've been Marty. He's been Luke. This has been AFTV, signing out.